Any observations? We got some huge tonnage disparity right now.
Demon
Criven
Girl is probably yeah. I'm sorry. Go on.
Criven bringing that 20 tonner. I'm gonna guess a piranha, but who knows? Got those machine guns, just gonna get in there and chew some people's legs.
I would definitely say it's the Piranha, especially since the Locust has fallen out of favor. And this is very uncharacteristic of Criven. From what I've seen of him, he normally likes to avoid brawling situations. If you remember the 1v1 tournament, I believe it was even the MWA 1v1 tournament, the infamous tournament where Moderate Pudding actually got banned. Criven almost won the entire light bracket on the strength of the Urban Mech back when it
Wow.
wasn't good, and he did it because he was amazing at zoning out his
Just
opposing light mech. He was
he,
able to get into the positions necessary to move, stay on the move, avoid close range weapons, but at the same time poke his opponent. He was able to constantly shoot at their legs. He was able to constantly bring pressure, and he was bringing intelligent pressure. He was never over poking, never under poking, and he knew exactly when to withdraw from a poke, when to take the burn away. So Criven has always been kind of that excellent guy that's able to zone a guy out. He's able to put pressure on them immediately. His aim is very good, but he never was one for the brawl. So it's going to be interesting to see how Criven handles the Piranha, how Criven handles this brawl situation.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. Sounds like I could learn a lot from Criven. Don't know so much about Demon Girl. I believe I've seen her around streams. I believe she's friends with Nutty Rat. But well, let's see. She's got 20 tons advantage. Maybe
Yeah,
she
I
can
hate
pull
to be
something.
crass, but Demon Girl is definitely. She is fighting an uphill battle here. Criven is one of the best light pilots, and I don't know Demon Girl, and I've been in this community for a very long time. So if I don't know you, you're either an unknown or you got a lot to prove.
Got a lot to prove. But those people show up. We already saw an almost upset in that first round. You know,
But to be fair, Infusion I did know, and Infusion was a very good shot, and he showed it by outshooting Bowser Sleipner.
that is definitely true. That is definitely true.
Demon Girl is a complete unknown. This is going to be damnably interesting.
All right, so we're waiting for mechs to come out of hangars. The GLF have funds are out.
Always gotta have fun.
Let's see what we've got.
Demon Girl in the Assassin, and Criven in the Piranha, as we said. Now this is what I wanted to see. This is going to be something I think we're going to be seeing a lot of. The Assassin has very, very annoying fucking hitboxes. That thing is a pain in the ass to fight.
And the JJs, man. You just spam those JJs, you hop around.
Exactly.
It is
So
a
what we're
nightmare
going
to
see
shoot.
is we're going to see a mech that's really hard to kill, has a lot of armor, and has a surprising amount of DPS with those SRMs. But Demon Girl brought SRM 6s. I don't agree with this. Those things are not going to reg properly on the Piranha, and they don't have Artemis, meaning they're going to be spread out. And we're seeing it in the opening engagements. What are we seeing, Toaster?
We've got Criven just getting in there immediately with his machine guns. He's already got those legs hurting pretty bad on Demon Girl. And he didn't take a lot of shots on the approach. His machine guns only have 140 meter range. Maybe you get a volley or two only extra on from the SRMs, but that can make a difference.
Oh man, this duel's already almost over. The Piranha's tearing through the Assassin. Oh my god! Oh no!
Just the leg nibbles, man. That re.
Jesus Christ! I'm sorry, Demon Girl, but you were like Poland during World War II. Ouch! Yeesh.
That was rough. That was rough.
Oh, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, I cannot agree with the SRM6s. They spread too much. They don't reg properly on the smaller mechs, and we actually saw the Assassin's taller size work against her. Like, she couldn't get a proper aim on the Piranha because the Piranha was too small. Criven was able to essentially hug Demon Girl's legs.
Yeah, you just can't aim down.
Under her.
That's one of the big strengths of that Piranha. Is if you're by yourself and one of them gets on you, they can just hug your legs and you're gonna have a heck of a time getting them down.
Definitely. And you know what? It's rough. It's rough seeing matches like that, and now I have to wonder how Demon Girl is going to come back from this. I hope she can. I mean, the fact that she was able to even land some shots with that build on the Piranha amazes me, because like even me in my prime state, I wouldn't have done very well with SRMs because the Piranha is just so small, it's so nimble, and its hitboxes are very spread out. I mean, not spread out. Its hitboxes are very compact. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. It's a very dangerous mech, and if you want to leg it, good luck. It's got commando legs.
Yeah, You gotta just, I think if you're bringing SRMs against it, you just shoot CT and hope you just blow it to smithereens.
Yep. And it's not like the mislinks where you could maybe take off the arm, or like the urban mech where it's actually hidden secret is you would take the urban mech's gun arm off and you pretty much beat it. But yeah.
All right, so we're on
rough.
to Canyon Network. Both players are already back in here.
I want to ask for the server just in case. Just check in, make sure anything's alright.
Yeah, we'll just double check here.
Yeah, we were gonna throw the rule book at Bowser, and we don't even know the rule book. We're dumb as shit.
Good old D5 tournaments, am I right?
Yeah, I know, right? How did we win anything?
All right, so both players are ready. We're on Canyon Dom. I expect to see another fast drop. You know, just get these light mechs in there. You're not gonna be trading, and if you are, they're just gonna run at you and DPS you down.
Exactly, but actually, I mean, if it's the Piranha, yeah, but there is an argument for staying away and zoning out. If you're in the Arctic Cheetah, you could potentially do it. If you're in the Wolfhound, you definitely want to do it.
Yeah, you definitely do.
At least in the testings with me and Charlemagne, or Logan, whatever the fuck you want to call him, the Wolfhound lost every time the Brawl evolved because it just didn't have enough sheer DPS to keep up with the machine guns, especially when the machine guns open the component. But let's launch this baby. They're both green.
Let's go. Yeah, I would like to see Demon Girl try to get, you know, a salvo or two at least off before Kriven can get in there and open with those machine guns.
Well, I mean, it's not even anything against her. It's just the choice of mech. Like, the assassin seems to be too tall. Her SRMs are too spread. Her build is just working against her in ways that I wonder if she understands. I wish I could almost be inside her head, you know? I almost wish I could break the rules a little bit, you know? Be like, this isn't up, and I crashed.
Oh, rip.
Yeah, I know.
Reconnect as best you can. We still have the stream. And I forgot to switch people to Bravo spawns, because I'm bad.
Wow, this is... Well, don't worry about it, but just to go on to that thing, did they engage yet?
They have not engaged.
But to go on that tangent, I wish that I could, like, you know, cheat a little bit and tell, you know, and tell Demon Girl, like, snap out of it. Your mech's working against you. Don't take it.
Don't take it.
Target acquired.
I don't know. I haven't tried him enough. I think what I would do for her first is, you know, she's got just the regular SRM 6s, and she's got 600 rounds. You don't need that to kill a Piranha. You might need it against an assassin, but I'd drop down to at least 400, try and get Artemis.
Definitely.
At 25%.
And right now, Kriven's just toying with her, or Kriven's toying with her. She's stuck in the pit. He's already got one of her legs to orange armor. This looks like it's gonna go about the same. One leg already open on the assassin, nothing open on the Piranha. And Kriven is just spraying those legs, hugging her as close he can, being an annoying little target. And she's legged, and she's down.
Yep, sounds about right. And let me tell you something, those light duels, the best light duels are the ones, and people might disagree, but the best light duels, I mean, the best showing of a top light pilot is how quick the duel is and how little damage you do.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, you see light duels where they end in 120 damage, and it's like the bare minimum to open and kill both legs.
Oh no, that's not right, Toaster.
Okay, my bad.
Like, no. Well, maybe now with the armor, like,
yeah, now with the armor
stuff. But I'm saying back in the day, like with the Arctic Cheetah, like during duels, if I did 80 damage and killed someone, that was an amazing duel to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a reinvite, by the way. I'm not even in.
All right, I will send you one. GG's Demon Girl, Kriven. I will try to stop calling you Krisman.
I mean, Krisman ain't bad.
Yeah, Krisman ain't bad.
Good looking dude.
Dude, he plays heavies. I know. He wrecked me in the first MWA tournament. I'm kicking everybody.
We'll get him next time.
We'll see.
We'll see. I have faith in you. Not really, but I'm pepping you up, giving you strength.
Well, I have got better. I will say that much.
All right, put me in. Pull
All
me
right,
in,
you're back
coach.
in. You're back in. We're gonna switch back to skirmish. We're gonna get up to the old 1v1 Steiner Coliseum, and we're gonna wait here. But yeah. I'll just throw up the map so you can see what happened. It was pretty simple. Whoop. Base cam. Bye.
Face cam. Oh damn! I wish I had the stream up.
Aha. It's gone now.
Oh, you bitch. God damn you. You should keep that face cam up. Show everyone your pretty face.
Where's my map strat? All right, so we messed up the spawns. He just ran straight over. Demon Girl ran into him, ended up dropping down. She almost, had a couple shots on him, just peeking up over that ridge, standing halfway up. Maybe you get a good shot in there on him, where he can't shoot your legs, but it didn't last. Criven knew what he had to do. He dove in there, he got on the legs, and he just never let go.
Yeah, and that's what the best light pilots will do. They'll make sure that you can't get away. They'll make sure that they'll stay on top of you. They are not going to let you leave without you paying. And especially in the case of the assassin, where it's slower than the piranha, no chance. No chance you're going to escape. You have to brawl that out. And as I was saying, and I'm pretty sure you saw in the cast, even though I couldn't see it, the assassin's tall height and the spread of the SRMs just worked against Demon Girl. Definitely. And although there are certain light mechs you can make exceptions to shooting center, side, torso for, Wolfhound could potentially be an exception to that. Mistlink's definitely an exception. Urban mech could be an exception after you arm it. But generally, you are going to want to go legs since it's the easiest thing to shoot. And the Piranha's legs are just short and stumpy. And it's something that it's able to use very well to its advantage. It's able to just hover under a mech, and you combine that with Criven's own skill, and I guess his increased skill at brawling, which is, like I said, this is something I haven't really seen from Criven in a while. I'm used to seeing him poke, but yeah, we're seeing he adapted to the mech he's using. He's brawling very well, and a good job by Criven. And you know what? Props to Demon Girl though. She entered the fight with a goddamn heavyweight. This is like she was taking on Mike Tyson.
Yep.
Like the Mike Tyson of light. Maybe not Mike Tyson.
Maybe, Criven.
Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, one of those two. He's definitely a heavyweight among light pilots, and Demon Girl did not back down. And you know what? Props to you. You're the real hero.
Yeah, no, for real. Playing dude, XSJR, plays for SA, top tier comp light pilot. Props to you. And I know I certainly wouldn't have done any better. I am garbage in lights.
Yes, you are.
All right, let's
not even deny that.
I am. Let's mute. We'll go to a break, figure out what matches are coming up next, and I'll just leave the little tournament scroll up.
Oh, we're on a break. Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I was having so much fun. All right. Well, hopefully we get our next opponents.
Yep. We'll be back here soon. Twitch chat. Don't go away. So, looks like Nikoro's ready. Dared's ready. Let's get in there. Let's see these 40 tonners. Double 40 tonner first match. We seen the 20 versus 40. Now we're the 40 versus 40. Maybe we'll see like the dual piranha action later. Who knows?
We might see the dual piranha action since, as you said, people can switch mechs. But right now, I have a hunch it's dual assassins. Since I don't think these guys like cicadas. Nobody likes bugs. Everybody likes cool dudes in white, white hoods that have hidden blades that can just stab you in the back without you even knowing anything.
I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it for you. Say we don't have any assassins. Zero assassins. The Arctic Wolf making its debut.
Weapons
Oh man, this is interesting.
This
Nikoro's
is-
running the shotgun build on the Arctic Wolf, the classic old Jenner build. 6 SRM6s. He's a madman. It's Dured going.
Dured's going shotgun, but he's got a more pinpoint shotgun. He's got 6 SRM4s with Artemis.
This is definitely more DPS. Definitely more DPS.
Definitely more EP.
because It's it's the same amount of SRMs, but the SRM4s definitely have much less compared to that. It's still a lot of damage, but it's definitely more about DPS. Nikoro's gonna have to go in.
First shots fired by Dured, gets a good hit on. Only taking a little bit of damage to his arm yet. You know, Nikoro's got to get these shots on target.
And we're starting to see the Artemis do work. We're starting to see that missile tightening's helping just a little bit more because Dured is able to get more concentrated damage. The right torso is already near open.
I may have made a mistake.
There it is.
Did I switch it to EU? I might not have. Fuck.
Yeah, you did. I saw it. Why?
Okay. Okay, if you saw I did, then I'll believe you.
Yeah, you
But
switched it to
Nikoro's halved. He's down to just 3 SRM6. He's not really any more heat efficient because I'm sure he's XL.
And he's not playing the shotgun build the way you need to play it. You need to get in his face, man.
You just got to get in there, yeah.
You got to get in there and, like... Oh, man.
All said, Dured does end up legged. And Dured only had 96 rounds left. So that's like, what,
Only
2-3 bursts?
Definitely
So-
more of a DPS build.
We're definitely seeing these teams, or these players, like... They're min-maxing just for 1v1s, you know. They've thrown out the solo queue builds. And they're like, you know, how little ammo can I get away with? Oh
That
gosh,
weighs
dang it! I radio
70
casted.
pounds.
Rip.
What was that?
I radio casted. No.
You did?
Yeah, feels bad, man. Sorry, viewers. I'm so sorry.
Jesus Christ. Someone get me another streamer. God damn it. I want another assistant. This guy sucks.
I suck.
How do you still have your job? I don't know. Ah, it's okay. We'll live.
Oh well, we'll live. My bad. Whoops. All right, so
It's alright. It's on a 5-minute delay, so you have 5 minutes to prepare your...
5 minutes to have chat yelling at me.
Yeah. Well, not really yell, because, you know, it's MechWarrior Online. It's not like this is the Olympics. Oh,
All right,
the
so we
rest
got
of the
both
agenda.
pilots
Thank
back
you, sir.
in. We're set up right. Dom, Canyon Network, European. We're not radio casting.
Good.
And
Don't
let's
radio
launch.
All right, so Canyon Network again. If they choose the same mechs, did the mechs they choose have jump jets, Toaster? I didn't see clearly. I believe they did, right?
I don't know that. I don't think they did. I believe, if I'm correct, the build that lets you take all those SRMs is a battle mech, and you don't have the choice to put on the Omnis from the Omni-Mech Arctic Wolf. So that's always the interesting thing about those Arctic Wolves. Oh, Nikoro. Got some ping. Okay, he's connecting. We're on the European servers. I did not mess that up.
All right, so it looks like they're going with the same mech choice over again. Arctic Wolves, Nikoro Doomguard sticking with the shotgun variant, and Dured going with the more rangy variant. Now, tell us what's happening, Toast.
Alright, they're both just heading up the channels. Gonna see probably close right on to Theta, get in the circle, and try and find their opponent. Dured has a UAV, and so does Nikoro, so it's gonna be important, like, who can get off that first shot? Especially if, you know, you can get off a shot where they don't know where it's coming from. You know, if you get a lucky back shot, you can just win. And especially with that shotgun build, the 6x6.
And right now, Dured is ticking down the circle, and this isn't good for Nikoro. He needed to get in that circle first, because he needed to force Dured to close onto him to better use that shotgun. I don't know what Nikoro's doing. This just seems like a senseless waste of time from my angle. You're playing the build that's closer range. Get to the
Yeah,
circle
you are. But, you know, you can play time, you know, it's... Unless you're really being negligent, you're not gonna run out of time. And
But the point is that Nikoro was outranged last game. He's going to be outranged this game because Dured is starting to fire his salvos, and Nikoro is already at orange armor.
yeah, but he's got a good hit on Dured already. Dured's lost an arm. I don't know. He's doing the drive-by. Dured's side torso's open.
All right, there
This is what I like to see. You know, you play that shotgun Jenner, you dive at people, then you kind of back off, cool down, you dive at them.
Overheated. I might be over now.
That could be it. Oh, Jared loses all but 2 SRM4s and his side torso's open.
Fours in the side. Yep, you're right. And that is what we're looking for.
That
That
is
exactly what he needed to do.
And
Durant was foolish. He was closing in.
and that's what I like to see too. Is, you know, you want to see people punished for their mistakes. I know I get punished plenty. This is still surprisingly close.
It is surprisingly close, but I have a feeling.
Jared down to 1, and he's done.
There we go. Perfect. That is what I wanted to see. That's what I like. There we go. Nikoro fucked up on the circle a little too much. I didn't like the fact that he was giving Dured time to allow him to range, but Dured just wasn't playing that intelligently, and Nikoro was. Nikoro was doing perfect drive-bys. Dured didn't even try to get on the canyon walls. He didn't even try to zone. He didn't try to use the extra range that the Artemis allowed him to get. Just poor play by Dured, great play by Doomguard, and Doomguard is immediately back in this 1-1.
Good games, man. This is what I like to see, you know. No 2-0s. We're going to match 3. You get to see all the maps.
Who wants to see a goddamn 2-0? I don't want to see a 2-0 for people like we're getting flamed for our radio cast. I blame you. When the manager calls, you're the one that's taking the heat. But fuck, what was I saying? Oh yeah, but just very good play. Nikoro's back in this, and we're glad that we don't see 2-0s because nobody wants to see 2-0s. Like, you know, for people that understand soccer, like, sure, you like Real Madrid, but nobody actually wants to just see Real Madrid roll over everyone unless you're from Spain, you know? Like, nobody wants to see that, and Beef could probably understand this reference because he's Canadian. Nobody wants to see, you know, the Chicago Blackhawks roll over everyone, or the Pittsburgh Penguins. We want parity. We want good matches, and that's what we're getting so far with these casts. Great detail.
All right, let's get these players back in here. I'm being flamed. I welcome the heat. You know, it just goes to show I'm an ex-Marine Mex player like Bandit, so we're gonna have a radio cast. Am I right?
Yeah, that's why you're fired.
That's why I'm fired.
All right.
Is this? I believe spawns for this are just alpha.
Okay, good. So spawns are fine. Change the server to EU. Make sure everything's good. Okay, perfect.
All right.
Everyone's ready. 40 tonners. I think
Ready?
we're going to see more of that action.
All right, let's get in there, man. Oh, they've got the chats fan going too. TKO and Beef. You can't not have a cast without them in there. I'm glad to see it.
All right, and here we go. The match is getting kicked off. Tell us what's happening.
We got
Toast.
double Arctic Wolves again, or at least one. Let's see what the other guys got. Oh yeah, double Arctic Wolves. So these guys, they don't care. They're like, oh, this is a big map, but we're not gonna chance laser vomit. We're just gonna run at each other.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I could have sworn that with Dured, I'd see Piranha. This is a change of pace.
Yeah.
This is still Dured's style. It's not in your face. He's not using that annoying as fuck tactic where he bumps into people to fuck up their hitbox. But hey, you know what? He's very good at it.
Maybe he should be. You know, I haven't scienced these mechs. I don't own Arctic Wolves. I don't know how they play. Maybe they beat Piranhas.
Oh, but the opening salvo. Tell us what's going on.
Nikoro gets a good hit on Dured's legs. Is he gonna switch it up this game? You know, he got the leg on that first match, but no, he's still hitting CT. I don't know, trade's kind of even. I'd say that Nikoro is winning these.
Nikoro, I would give the edge to Nikoro. Nikoro's starting to get the idea. Get close. Compact that SRM wall into an SRM Kamehameha.
I don't like what Dured just did there. He let the hotter build have plenty of time to cool down.
Yeah, this is very uncharacteristic of Dured. We're seeing a very large lack of aggression. Like, you have the heat advantage. Press it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Okay, so Nikoro is halved, but Dured is one shot from losing that right torso and a large... Oh wow. And it's over. He just comes around the corner and says, nope.
There we go. That's the Dured I'm looking for. Up close, in your face. I'm going to sock you in the fucking mouth as hard as I can and knock you out.
That was real close. Look at those damage numbers.
Perfect.
287 to 270, just a slight edge.
You know what? I think Dured might have hacked our stream of consciousness. He might have hacked our TeamSpeak. He might use his Russian hacks, because the very moment we said that he needs the precious advantage, he did.
Oh no.
A little more stealthily than normal.
Yeah. But you know he won, so.
Investigate him. I think Dured and the other Russians are colluding with Donald Trump.
Oh so, no accusations, please. Is this Reddit? Is this the MWO forums?
Yeah, it is. We're on it. But no, that was a great duel. Dured pulled it back. I would expect nothing less from a player of his caliber. But Nikoro, great match. If Nikoro understood the capabilities of his build in the first match, I think that this series could have easily went to Nikoro Doomguard, and we could have seen something very different. I
think Nikoro, he needed to play like he did on Canyon, where he did those like dart in and out, get right on him, hit him with the 72 alpha, and then pull his range a little bit. But you know, maybe that's what he was going for. That last shot he was going for it probably.
That is the weakness of Canyon Network. Canyon Network doesn't allow as much. I mean, not Canyon Network. That is the weakness of that test map. There's not a lot of fluid cover from which you can switch, from which you can roll in and out, from which you can get out of a fight real quick just by the tap of a jump jet. You know, the angles are more open. You'd have to use the cover of the hills and the boxes, which, depending on where you're fighting, could be a bit of a walk. And obviously, it's like, you know, it's a situation where, unfortunately, Nikoro wasn't. He was weaving in his way. He was stopping. He was pulling out of the fight a little bit. But because of how the territory was, because of how he had to fight, or because of perhaps an error in his own piloting, in his own movement, not staying on the move, instead just stopping one place, allowing Dured to get those alphas, it doomed him. It fucked him.
Yep, but all in all, good game still. Like, even that last one, you know, Dured goes 2-1, but... No, like we saw before earlier with Bowser's match, you know, no 2-0 stomps, except apparently for when people don't show up.
Okay, so the next match is Kurlon versus Arbid, blah, 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 blah. We'll find out.
Alright, I'll have to figure out how to spell these players' names.
What the fuck kind of name is this?
Is this assaults or lights? What are we looking at here? I'm thinking lights.
Yeah, it is lights. It's Kurlon versus... Yes, it is a rabid hamster. God
yeah.
Damn it, Rage, and learn how to spell. Do we have servers set up?
Servers set up. NA's good. They're fine. And both players are ready, so let's go.
All right, let's move it.
And we are not radio casting. I have made my good old Chrome browser smaller so I can always see OBS now.
I mean, I work in radio, so I already had practice with that.
See, perfect. Then you're the perfect compliment.
I am the perfect compliment. Thank you.
Alright, so what do we have here? We've got... Ooh. I'm not going to spoil this for you yet. Kurlon bringing an interesting choice.
I see it. Kurlon's bringing an arrow. I'm guessing
arrow.
It's filled to the brim with machine guns.
Large pulse and 6 machine guns.
I don't know why he's bringing this.
Versus the Assassin. Not the Assassin 21 that most people are useful. It's the Assassin 23. Fun fact about this mech, I'm pretty sure it's right-handed. So if you knock out that right side torso, even if he's a light engine or a standard engine, he's weaponless.
These builds are weird.
But I think if you're the Arrow, you try and get some scratch in with your large pulses before he closes. You go for those legs just because Assassins are annoying as heck.
I just can't understand even the idea behind these builds. Like, I'm obviously out of the meta, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but a Rabid Hamster brings an inferior Assassin in overall DPS and power when you could just bring Artemises and just fire at him, and then Kurlan's bringing an inferior machine gun boat when you could just bring the Piranha, be almost impossible to hit, and
he's already open in the blackjack.
The blackjack center torso and side torsos are just too big for this kind of fight. Like, this is not going to end well. Kurlan's going to lose.
Those MPLs just don't have it to open them up, and those machine guns, you know, you don't have 12 of them. You're not just going to chew through.
Really, yeah, and he's not torso twisting that well either. Like, it's like, I don't mean to sound like an asshole, and I'm sorry if I do to these people's friends and neighbors, but we're seeing inexperience right here. This is inexperience with this kind of bracket. You're bringing a suboptimal build to a fight, and Kurlan's out.
Yep.
And I don't want to, once again, forgive me, but this was to be expected. Like, the Blackjack's just an inferior mech.
Yeah, the Blackjack does okay, you know, when it has support. But even then, it just doesn't have the hitboxes or the tankiness that it once had since the rescale, and it lost a bunch of its, like, armor and structure quirks. I think...
It's not optimal mech, and this is showing that.
Oh my god, I radio cast again.
Did you radio cast again?
Yep. It's because I was alt tabbed when I hit C and it brought my cover screen up. RIP.
Oh
my god.
This is the second radio cast in a row.
Fuck. Alright, everything look good to you?
Yeah, he's throwing out
to
the
me.
hack. He doesn't like
Hack.
this. I wouldn't like this.
I wouldn't like this either.
Are we radio casting? Yes or no?
We are not radio casting.
Okay, good. Go.
Well, so that's the problem. I didn't radio cast until we actually got into the match.
Don't radio cast again.
I won't radio cast again, I promise.
Do not make me regret choosing you as my partner.
I promise, chat. I promise.
Crime. Where the fuck's Logan? Logan! I need a replacement! Get the fuck over here.
Logan is dead.
Yeah, he probably is.
Alright, so Rabid, still going with the Assassin 23. You know, I don't know that it's as good as the 21. I don't think it is.
See, now Kurlan, this is what I wanted to see. Kurlan is learning from his losses.
Kurlan, yeah, he's changing up. He realized Mech Choice lost in that first match. He lost in the Mech Lab. So he's just going good old meta Assassin 21 SRM4s.
Fix your overlay toaster.
It is. It's fine.
What the fuck, we're streaming? God damn it.
It is banana.
He's probably talking about the radio cast.
Rip.
Fucking go away.
Rip. Alright. I don't like where Kurlan's sitting right now. He's just sitting in this pit. He's taking free shots. He hasn't landed anything on the other assassin, but there he gets a good hit on the leg.
By the way, the stream seems to have cut out.
We're good now, Matt. I don't know. According to OBS, we're good.
It's a 5-minute delay, man. So apparently we're running. According to
Yeah.
We had a radio cast.
I am looking now.
Oh, gotcha.
It's the 5-minute delay doing me in.
Alright, we're missing the match. Go away.
Missing the match. Kurlan it does appear to be winning. He's got a lot of good hits on the legs of that other assassin, of a rabid hamster. They're just duking it out in this valley. But with that shot, Kurlan, both of his legs are open.
Yep, and there we go. This is the impact of the
and
missile.
boom.
This is what we wanted to see. Kurlan takes it.
He placed those matches.
This is what we needed to see.
I think his just the DPS on those SRM4s beat out the 3.6s. The DPS and spread. You know, the 3 SRM6s might have 2 more missiles than 4 SRM4s, but I don't think the small pulses these days, they don't cut it. They don't make up for the difference.
They really don't. And it's just interesting that Rabid's sticking to this build. He must have a lot of success with this build in PubQ, but if we're seeing that the missiles, it's just higher impact. And sure, the small lasers would come in greater assistance if he was against smaller mechs, but he's not. He's against an assassin. It's the same size. The assassin, it's a skinny mech, but if you look at it from the side, its legs are actually deceptively wide, so you can get some decent missile salvos on them, and it's not that hard of a chore to kill it.
Yeah, and while the Assassin 21 did receive some nerfs, right? It had its armor quirks switched to structure, but you know, it's still got comparable tankiness, and you get the extra missile. I just think that is still worth the extra armor that the 23 has instead of the structure. All right, we're re-inviting players. We're gonna get this switched to skirmish
All
2v2
right. I think
match.
Shulkin was serious in that if you radio cast again, you really are fired.
Rip. I promise
So
I will
don't
not do it.
All right, so we're on the 2v2 test map. And judging by the 40 tons, it looks like they're going to be bringing the same mechs again. And
Same
we're not
mechs?
going to be seeing much poking between the swamp hills and the hamburger
No.
hills.
No. And I'm kind of want to see someone bring just like, you know, try the I want to see someone bring a, you know, the Alpha Hunchback 2C. I wonder, you know, can you land that first Alpha and just leg the guy halfway across the map? All right, so Kurlan seems to be okay with Oceanic still. We're gonna just stick with it then, and let's get in here. 2v2 map.
All right, it is okay. Cool. It is Oceanic.
We're
Looks
Oceanic.
like we're ready. Are we radio casting again?
We are not radio casting again.
Excellent. Please don't do that, 'cause you will literally be fired if you do that again.
Am fired. Feels bad. I should
You're
just.
not fired yet. You can redeem yourself by being a good caster with me.
I set up all these extra scenes. That was my downfall. I should just have it one scene so that there's no chance.
Well, the extra scenes allow for, you know, transitions. It allows for a cleaner looking cast, so that's not the problem. You just gotta stay on it, and I'll help you with it.
All right.
It's all good.
So.
And,
Oh.
Rabbit Hamster switching up. his
Rabbit
map
Hamster.
now.
Wow. Oh, this is
This
good.
This is
4 2s and 4 6s.
This is a suboptimal shotgun variant. I immediately hate this mech. Why did he bring all these extra SRMs? Like, the SRM2s are just...
Yeah, I would like to see.
less damage.
I would like to see just 4s or just all 6s. Maybe six of whatever combination you so opt for. I'm not
These
sure about the
builds are
2s.
just really janky. Like, they just don't make a lot of sense.
The 2s are very pinpoint, but does it really matter?
Very true, but he's losing damage, but perhaps that's not his game. The opening salvos are going in. What are we seeing?
And he's winning. Kurlan just sitting against that box takes major damage to his left leg. This might already be lost. He's legged.
Wow.
All a Rabbit Hamster has to do is get in there, get around him.
Oh,
But
the
Kurlan's
Rabbit
doing an okay job.
Hamster doesn't know how to handle this. The Rabbit Hamster is not moving intelligently. He keeps exposing that leg, and it shows. But he still had it.
Just running into that box.
Just
That
barely. The almost throw.
yeah. Kurlan was doing a good job of shielding, but Rabbit Hamster didn't get around him fast enough to hit that leg.
Oh man, that was dangerous though. That was really dangerous because the Rabbit Hamster was unnecessarily exposing his leg, and he wasn't even like trying to hide the leg, a la Bowser and Logan. He was like just legit showing both legs.
Yeah.
If Kurlan got some really good lucky alphas, he could have gotten both legs, and a Rabbit Hamster could have thrown it. But thankfully, he was able to hold on to the lead. He was able to maintain it. But really weird, awkward builds.
It was well, I mean, okay, the Assassin 21 I think is fine. I think that is a super fine build, just 4 SRM4s. I would tweak it for 1v1s a little, right? You don't need that much ammo. You can probably get Artemis, or at least drop to a light engine on the off chance that they shoot your torsos.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rabbit Hamster, Kurlan made a big mistake just running into that box. He took so much damage to that left leg just at the start. He was open before he'd really had any damage on a Rabbit Hamster.
All right, well, Rabbit Hamster takes it, and I honestly think that these two are very even in skill. It's obvious that they lack experience and they still need to play more to truly flesh out their abilities, but I think that this was very even. I believe that if he didn't bring the arrow at the beginning, then this would have been, he could have potentially won. But he brought that arrow, and he shot himself in the foot unnecessarily. I don't understand that pick. I think that was what did him in.
All right.
Okay, so next is Mighty Rant versus Unfearing. I would have thought that perhaps Dured would have. I mean, yeah, I thought perhaps Dured actually might have stick with Australia to try and use the ping against him, but I guess he's of the opinion I'm a better shooter.
He's
than
an
I am.
honorable man,
Not
sir.
use- I don't know about that. He is Russian. Gotta watch out for that. Like if they're in the company of Trump, we gotta reconsider some things.
Oh my gosh.
The point is that like it's very he's trusting his shooting ability. He's not going to leave anything up to chance as much as possible. He's putting his eggs in the NA server basket, and I think that might be the smarter decision. Although once again, like I said, I'm surprised that he's not going for the chance to use his movement to try and offset Juju and use the server to assist his movement in shrugging off shots.
No one wants to have that haze of, oh, you just won because of the server ping, la la la, over their head.
True.
You know?
Well, take us through, Toaster. What's going on?
All right, we are coming out to red in a Arctic Wolf, same build as last time, same amount of ammo. Doesn't seem to have wanted to change anything. And Juju bringing the assassin. So the dual SRM 40s. Juju, unlike our previous opponents, has opted for Artemis, has dropped some ammo, has his UAV up, knows everything about his opponent.
This is how you can tell there's experience. He's optimizing his build to the best of his abilities. Both of them are. Dured is sticking with the SRM-4s on the Arctic Wolf. He's putting his trust in Clam SRMs, and it's not looking good for Juju.
Juju's
right
already legged. He was working those jump jets pretty well, but he's just being a little too passive, I think. Not using his mobility. His opponent has more SRMs. But, of course, now he's shielding, so will Dured actually be able to get around him?
That is the question. Dured has to find a way to be able to circle around Juju Shinobi very quickly, potentially jump jet over him using the box. Oh wait, he doesn't have jump jets. I'm an idiot.
And we have a stalemate.
Running past him to the box. No, it's never going to be a stalemate.
All right, they're moving again.
Juju's trying to use his jump jets to get out of this, but it doesn't look like
It's
he will.
still close. Dured could lose both legs.
Dured's legs are open. Juju's trying to use. Oh, that was so close.
Just-
Dured's legs are both open.
Just the disadvantage of already missing a leg. He wasn't able to turn fast enough. His opponent, yeah, he was taking a lot of damage, but he just sped around him, got that leg.
Indeed, and you know what? That was a great attempt by Juju to try and use the jump jets, but you were right. It definitely felt like Juju was a little immobile. I have noticed that that's a pattern with kind of D5 lights. Logan did it with me. Juju did it with me. It's like, during duels, they have a tendency to stand still for a split second to get that shot in. And sure, you can get away with it sometimes, but if you do it too much and you get a little too predictable, the best pilots in the game, such as Dured, will take advantage of that every time and leg you.
Yep. I thought we had agreed on NA. I don't know. We never really made it super formal. Yeah, they can. Okay. All right. We're gonna stick with NA. I'm not sure.
Well, technically,
Juju is technically top seed, according to the bracket. So technically, if Juju wanted to force one, he should have read the rules and forced it on 1 and 3.
Yeah, that is true. Actually, you're right. Juju had the chance to choose, and he didn't choose the one that he might have wanted at the beginning. So we can go. They're GLHFing. We're good to go.
We are not radio casting. Can confirm. I'm looking at OBS. All right, so if Juju brings the assassin, what I'd like to see him do better this match is not just kind of sit there. I want to see him working the jump jets like he did, but I want to see him being the one circling the wolf, because he has the agility advantage.
And it's something that normally Juju's very good at doing. I'm surprised that we didn't see that in the match. Like I said, I think he might have just gotten a little overconfident. He might have baited those shots a little too hard, and Juju is in an Osiris.
Oh man.
This is interesting.
This is going to be interesting.
Stops.
Like,
We
will...
can laugh at this, but Juju actually really likes this mech.
I know he does, and he's put up some good games with it. The question is going to be, can he hold range, and can he whittle down his opponent? Because he doesn't have the DPS. Yeah, I'm not liking the odds either.
Matchup for Dered. Like, the Osiris is big, it's got a big torso, and Dered's missiles are going to vomit all over that thing like a drunken prom date. Like, it's just not going to end well.
And Juju's already got scratching. He's whittling down those legs slowly but surely.
What do you got Dered doing right now?
Dered, it looks like Dered is just opting to sit in the circle and make Juju come to him at the moment. He's fast. He's 107 kph, I think, but he can't outrun the Osiris. The Osiris could theoretically kite him for days. But yeah, Dered, he's playing it smart. He's playing it slow. He's just gonna play objective. He's gonna sit here.
Do you really think the Osiris can kite out that mech though? Because the assassin, the Arctic Wolf, moves pretty quickly, about the same space as the Osiris, and it's not like those missiles can't pull some range.
I don't know. Is it 5 min? People said 10 min. Oh, it is.
Wait, what?
It is a 5 minute. It's supposed to be 5 minute time.
Yeah, but the rules say 10 minutes, don't they?
Yeah, no, the rules say 5 minutes. I just checked it. Rip. But I don't know that they can hear me.
No,
we'll probably have to get a ref in here if this goes to time. I don't think it'll go to time, to be honest. So the reason I think the Osiris can kite him out is just the Osiris, yeah, it's not that much faster, but it also has jump jets, and the Arctic Wolf doesn't.
Very true.
On this map.
Does seem to have more acceleration.
Yeah, it definitely does. The Osiris.
Yeah, the Red's definitely trying to play it cheeky. This match might actually go to tie, but I could have sworn that the rules said 10 minutes.
I thought so too, but I'm wrong.
Well, we'll play it out. We'll see what happens.
Just scratching. Still no shots on Juju, but he is definitely a lighter mech than the Arctic Wolf. So as long as if Dered gets one good shot with those SRMs, he could wipe him out. But Dered doesn't even care. He doesn't want to take this fight. He knows he has circle. Juju's playing the very edge. If you're at the top of that cliff, I guess you're in. But Dered has a 6-second advantage, and that's all it takes. Juju crossing back over.
Wasn't able to get to the circle in time, so if this match does go to time, I do believe that Dered wins it, though, no?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, so Dered has the advantage, either way you slice it. Juju doing something very interesting. He's trying to bait Dered.
He's getting these fade shots in, and he's baited Dered down into the low ground. He's going back up.
Perfect.
Slippery little Singaporean here.
Yep, that's exactly what you got to do to a mech that doesn't have jump jets. You got to abuse the canyon walls as much as you can to pull range. And Juju's left arm is really hurt, but this still could be a decent opportunity for him to try and pull this match back.
But we're back. We're kind of back where we were, and you know, even though Juju's been getting a lot of hits in early, he's still like armor-wise losing these trades. He's getting.
Well, it's the case of a 30-ton mech versus a 40-ton mech.
Yeah.
It's a lot more armor he's got to chew through. It's a lot more damage he's got to chew through. Juju going after the objective now to try and even up the score so that way things don't end in a tie. Also blowing out Dered's one UAV, and that's very important because Dered having that sight is so crucial to him being able to track Juju's movement.
Yeah. His UAV all-present eye, being able to just know where Juju is even despite Juju's jukes.
Now I don't like what I'm seeing.
This has devolved into a very short-range brawl. Juju has the leg on the Arctic Wolf open, but is he just going to be able to live long enough to get that one and the other? Right leg, one shot on the Arctic Wolf. He is legged, but Juju is hurt. And Juju is now open everywhere with that one volley.
But this is the thing, now Juju can pull range.
So yes.
300 and the missiles are 280.
So Juju just gotta try and sit at that very max range. Hopefully Dered doesn't get into somewhere where he can super duper shield that leg. And also we're gonna have to have a decision from a ref because we have now hit 5 minutes. And Juju gets a free burn on the leg. Looks like Juju will actually win this. But he doesn't kill them until after 5 minutes have passed.
Alright, so let's get a ref in here. Just
need a ref. We're gonna need a ref. So we'll play this with the 10-minute rule. I will ask if they're ready. I'm not going to let Juju switch servers. I think it's the least I can do for Red. They did seem to agree on NA, so I'll stand by that. I'm going to assume Juju's ready since he's readied up. And let's... You there, Saruman? You there? Saruman? Rip. Alright, we're solo casting! Alright, so this match, the Red we see in his good old World Championship, the World Championship Wolfhound, I guess. That's what I'm gonna guess.
Yep.
Maybe he's got 5 medium pulse. Maybe he has 6. And Juju, oh my man, bring in a Locust, 2 med pulse, 4 ER smalls.
And this is the perfect mech to complement Juju Shinobi's fighting style
Yep.
of getting in, hitting him, getting out. And I would actually give this fight to Red. He's got the better alpha. He's got to land those shots, but
He's just wrecking Juju. Juju's 1 shot already.
And it's over.
Okay.
Oh my God. Well, it looks like there's not even gonna be much controversy.
Looks like we don't need arbitration. Red just nukes Juju.
Oh my God! What a nuke!
Just 60 alpha, 60 damage, all CT, and that's the match.
People are calling in chat for a rematch, but that's completely unnecessary since the opposer won. I don't feel like we really need a rematch.
If anything, I think
either way you slice it, that was
either way you slice,
that Juju won.
the Red wins. Juju poking the same spot over and over. Not being quite the Shinobi that game. And Juju is already disconnected.
Yeah, he probably wanted none of that. He was probably getting exhausted, and to be fair, like, the tournament has unfortunately been a little bit sloppy in setting up matches, lack of refs. This thing has gone through a lot of turnover. So it's very good that at least we have somewhat slightly patient viewers to help assist us with that.
They were so boring.
Well, I'm talking about this server stuff. Obviously, if there's streaks, obviously if there's flamers, we have to bring the rule down. But for stuff like server, like, come on, just decide on a fucking server and play.
All right, so Headless Chicken, he's in the Piranha.
Go medieval.
I've been hyping it. And Slave Labor in the Wolfhound. It's the World Championship meta with the Wolfhound versus the newcomer on the block, Piranha.
I'm honestly very surprised. I thought that Slave Labor would be bringing the... I thought that Slave Labor would be the one in the Piranha, but he's the one that's sticking to conventional, tried and true. Although having dueled Slave Labor in tournaments and having played against him on RJF, he does change up his build, so if this doesn't work from them, we may see another switch on his side.
Not to mention, for Slave Labor, it might just be he's got experience with this mech, right? He played it all through Worlds, I'm sure all through the seeding and the comp queue.
What are we seeing, Toast?
We got Headless Chicken just circling around. Slave Labor seems to be content to just sit at the top of this hill, try and get some closing shots, but I don't think he's yet taken a shot, and this Piranha is getting dangerously close. Slave Labor backing off the hill.
Yeah. And this is a terrible position Slave Labor wants to be in. The moment that Piranha closes the gap, it's going to be able to hug the leg. And as you can see, the Wolfhound, once again, is a bit too tall. But I'm not liking Headless Chicken's play. This isn't what you want to do. You want to use your mobility to hug that mech.
You want to try and stutter step, work around it.
And I see he's trying. He's definitely moving as much
as
he
he's trying.
can.
But both of his side torsos are open. Slave Labor might be at a disadvantage. Oh, wow.
And there we go. There it is.
Just as soon as those legs are open, that Wolfhound just evaporates.
Definitely, and that's the power of the Piranha. I feel like its hitbox is probably one of the strongest things. That's one of the most underrated things. You normally go for legs on lights because you want to cap that mobility as best you can. But the Wolfhound, its pitch and yaw ratios are not that great, so it can't poke down at the Piranha as successfully as other light mechs can. You combine that with the fact that the Piranha is an unusually tall light mech, and its laser hard points are stuck in the middle of its center torso, which it has a hard time moving, and you have a disaster of a situation with a Wolfhound trying to fight a Piranha. It's just not a good matchup. I really like the mech choice from Headless Chicken. I really don't like the mech choice from Slave Labor. I feel like he's playing it too safe. He needs to get out of his comfort zone a little bit, play something a little bit better.
Yep. I do think that Piranha, it's all about, can you get a good alpha or two before it can get those machine guns to bear? And we saw Slave Labor just didn't.
Absolutely, and it's just, and I have a feeling that we're going to see a mech change coming up. I honestly, this is just my opinion, and I'm biased because I hate the Wolfhound. I absolutely fucking hate the light mech. It's one of the most boring mechs to play, but I just feel like that in one-on-one duels, there's so many mechs that could match it and beat it. The Piranha, we're seeing it have fairly consistent results against the Wolfhound. The Mist Lynx back in its day was able to beat it. The Arctic Cheetah had a hard time, but it could come out on a 50-50 pinch. That might have changed with the machine gun pass, but even still, it feels like that the Wolfhound is not nearly as strong as people think it is, at least in a dueling situation, when a light can run up to you and hump your legs like some fucking horny, what is it, basset
little puppy dog,
border collie. Exactly. And the Wolfhound, it doesn't have the option to just shake that bitch off or throw a bone at it or do something. It's just like I
think it can't be understated how much this specifically applies to duels, because in a 2v2 you're going to be able to hug one guy's leg, but you can't hug the other. And so the 1v1s are just such a very different dynamic from anything else you play. Normally you get a Piranha, you have two people focus it down, and it'll die quick. It's still very much a glass cannon, but the stiff-necked mechs like the Wolfhound, the Firestarter, they just can't look down, and that makes the Piranha have such a big advantage in 1v1s.
Definitely. And right now, Headless Chicken is in the lead against an established light pilot, and I'm really liking what we're seeing here. We're seeing a lot of great matches, a lot of 2-1s. We're seeing some upsets, and we're definitely seeing people be exposed somewhat on their own stages. Unfortunately, Juju Shinobi didn't have the best results against Red. That was unfortunate. Yeah. Red advanced forward. We're seeing that Slave Labor, an established light pilot for RJF, is starting to struggle somewhat against this up-and-coming from 228th.
Yep. Yeah, we got good matches all around. There's no free wins. I'm glad to see.
Apart from Silken bungling up some of the rules and changing some shit at the last minute to suit his fancy, which I most certainly would be pissed at if I actually competed in this tournament, I can honestly say that so far things are looking very good, and I cannot wait to see what's going to be brought during the finals.
Yeah, I want to see the semis and the semifinals. There's going to be good matches. I'm surprised that we haven't seen more Wolfhounds and Piranhas before, but I think at least Slave Labor and Headless Chicken and Criven, they're showing they're had a tonnage disadvantage, but those mechs are so strong regardless.
Oh man, Slave Labor is still sticking with the Wolfhound. I really don't like this, especially for Canyon, where this is a very vertical map and the Wolfhound struggles poking vertically. I don't like this pick from Slave Labor. I feel like that he's trying to fit a square peg into a round hole and that he's not adapting to the situation. I do not like his chances.
But at the same time, the Piranha's not going to poke you, right? I mean, we saw Headless Chicken. He's only got micro pulses. And so the up and down might not be such a big advantage. I do think that just the mobility-wise, the Piranha is going to have the advantage. Even though it doesn't have jump jets, it's still going to be real fast getting up in ramps.
The point I'm trying to make is that the up and down benefits Headless Chicken because he is able to utilize his greater speed to run up and down cliffs that Slave Labor cannot.
Oh, that's true.
When Headless Chicken is diving in and out to stay under Slave Labor won't be able to poke as efficiently if a headless chicken runs down a hill or a canyon to get away. I'm not talking about a poking war. I'm just talking about the sheer dynamic of the piranha running in and out, and we're already seeing the engagement. Tell us what's happening, Toast.
All right, headless chicken looks like he's tired of waiting. He just wants to dive in there. He's forced slave labor down into the low ground. I don't like that. I think slave labor, you got to try and hold that up high ground. But headless.
I disagree with you there. I think that this is the smarter play by slave labor.
Really?
Since now he doesn't have to worry too much about vertical fights. And if headless chicken is up on that, if headless chicken is up on the slant, then essentially slave labor can shoot up at him and not have
That's
to worry
true.
too
That's
much.
true. Oh, and headless is open CT. Slave labor's legs are getting pretty hurt, but they're still not open, so those machine guns aren't fully effective. They're not fighting to their strengths yet. Slave labor
Has managed to.
Boom.
There we go.
There we go.
Bam. Very, like, a headless chicken, I don't agree with the way he played. He just charged in at slave labor. Slave labor that time managed to get some really good pokes.
Yeah, he had that position that was hard for slave labor to get around, or headless chicken to get to him at first. And I that's what I'm saying is, like, those first two pokes against these piranhas, you just get one or two good hits in before they can close, and that's how you win.
And that's something that we've wanted to see slave labor do last match. I still don't agree with the pick. I think that a headless chicken could have played that a lot better. I think that essentially headless chicken gave slave labor a free alpha, and that's what decided it. Because last match, even though headless chicken won, that was also very close. Like, that one alpha, a good alpha strike in the center torso, perfectly executed by a good player, that can really change the way a match flies.
I'm going to kick and re-invite, and then we'll get everything going. Back another 3-game match. Right, headless, not changing anything up. He's just ready to go. He wants to do this. He said OC, so we're doing OC per their agreed upon rules.
Yep, and this is the final match.
I think this is another good map for the Wolfhound too. Wide open spaces, gonna be real hard to close with the piranha.
Oh yeah, definitely. If this is the map that slave labor is going to close it out, this is the skirmish map. The hills aren't that steep to where the Wolfhound has to look down too much to poke. The piranha has to run through some lighter hills. It has to run around some boxes to the side of the map. So the paths that the piranha has to take to get to the Wolfhound start to get predictable. It's not like Canyon Network where you can kind of swing around the canyons a little bit and do some maneuvers to get behind someone. No, you have to either just charge straight at him and pray he doesn't hit you with an alpha and torso twist, or you've got to use the boxes on the side of the map somewhat, or ring around Hamburger Hill and Swamp Hill and hope that he doesn't see you in time before you can close the gap.
And even if you go around those boxes, you know, maybe your opponent just rotates to the other side of the hill. They work around their boxes. And even when you close, you got to go up that hill, and that's still a couple 100 meters where that Wolfhound, you know, probably gets a free shot or two.
Much better than the Canyon Network Wolfhound matchup, I will say that. This definitely, if a headless chicken does the exact same thing he did last match and not use the terrain to its fullest, then we're going to see slave labor advance.
I do think so too. Also, I didn't mention this, but slave labor has switched. He did last round. The first round he had 5 medium pulse. Now he's up to 6. Last round he's up to 6. I think he's just going more for the, I don't need to take that many shots. I don't care about heat efficiency. I just want to get that one good punch on the income onto that piranha.
And you know what? It worked, and it could very well work this game. I like what Headless Chicken's doing. He's trying to use the hills as much as he can. He took the third route that I mentioned, trying to swing around the hills. Hope he doesn't.
I think doubling back like that was a mistake.
Oh, this is not gonna. Oh my goodness, this is.
He's got big hits on this piranha already. The piranha's barely scratched the Wolfhound. CT's almost open on the piranha.
Man, this is going to be close, but it looks like the piranha's already starting to smoke.
Yeah, the piranha's one shot from death.
Oh, that's the arm. Okay, so it really isn't nothing. Yeah, the piranha's smoking. The Wolfhound still got its armor on its legs. There we go. One arm taking, but the piranha's...
He's doing his best to hug him with the piranha, but I think he's just too weak.
Oh, but a leg could come off if that leg comes
yeah.
off. This is much closer than people think. Both legs are open, and the Piranha that's deadly.
And one shot!
Slave Labor just gets the shot necessary
He-
to win.
He takes off both side torsos on the Piranha and not the CT. That just speaks to how good the hitboxes on that Piranha are. But
oh man, if Headless Chicken maybe took a different route, then he could have won that.
he was so close.
Headless Chicken just charging head first into the Piranha. Why would you do that?
I-
Give him the perfect shot.
Yeah, I do think doubling back around was the wrong move. You wanna, I think you go right straight up under that blue hill to the left, or to the right of where slave labor was, and
Yeah, that's the entire point of good light maneuvering. You can't run in straight lines like that and expect to come out unscathed. It's not going to work.
yep, you gotta close. You need to use that hill, I think, just a little bit better, and it could have been different. Granted, it was still a very close match, right? Both legs were open on that Wolfhound, and you know we saw how quickly that structure evaporates due to those machine guns. But yeah, another good match. Light pilots, great light pilots showing up for this tournament.
Excellent. This will be interesting. I'm going to wonder... You
See,
gotta wonder if they're going Wolfhound.
I really like how this tournament, like, it seems like the meta is evolving as we play with it. Because, yeah, sure, you can practice with your teammates. You can try and science whatever mechs you think are the best. But, you know, having just the hodgepodge of, like, EU players plus NA players who all have different practice groups playing together, you know, the hive mind, the collective hive mind knows best.
Indeed. And we're going to see the mechs now. I'm willing to bet that, yep, it's Wolfhound.
It's Wolfhounds.
I don't know what people see in this.
Can't beat those armor quirks, man.
But we've seen people beat them with their armor quirks. I guess I can understand this map because this is a somewhat more open map with terrain that's not too crazy unless you get on top of the bridges that are parallel to each other. But I honestly don't see the massive appeal for the Wolfhound. I feel like these guys could do just as fine if they picked the 40-ton missile mech in the Arctic Wolf, or if they went with the Piranha, or even tried the Mistlinks.
Yep.
Or even an Urban mech.
So they're both just going up to their hills, you know, Bria waving, firing that single MPL at him, saying, I know you're there. But Dered, he's taking the high ground. I like this. I think that high ground does have its advantages. It's real hard to push up. If he's sitting on the top of that ramp and you're walking up it, I don't think you're going to be able to shoot him while he's shooting you for free.
Most definitely, and the best part of those pillars is that if you're very good on your movement, if you keep your W and S key moving so that way your mech never loses its acceleration or deceleration, you can effectively use the pillars and its janky-ass hitbox to absorb fire for you, and that's exactly what we're starting to see Dered do right now. Dered's at 93%, Bria 89. What are you seeing, Toast?
I do like how Dered's working those pillars. He's playing it right. He's got a right-handed mech. He's peeking just around the right side of that pillar, and it does like he's slightly winning. It's really too close to tell at this point, though. They're both kind of spreading all over CTs. Neither one seems to be going for legs. They're just happy to trade this out with MPLs. They probably figure, you know, I'm not hot enough to, or I'm too hot to close. So I'm just gonna play this like any other trade laser vomit mech.
Pretty much, and it looks like Dered is winning on those trades, and I really wouldn't expect much less from him, because even though Buria is very good, Dered definitely has a higher level of experience. Dered has played against some of the best lights in this game in the MWOWC twice. He's in Eon, which has constantly dominated the EU bracket, so even though Buria is very good, and he's definitely not getting counted out now, Dered has much more experience playing against these higher tier teams. And
that said, Dered is open on his side torso, and I'm sure that's an XL build.
That is an XL
If he gets a good burn on that left torso, this could be over already. But
you know what? Dered is very good at shielding that torso. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Oh, and now Buria's open. Buria CT and right side torso, and he's lost 2 of his lasers.
But Dered is not doing something smart. Oh my god, thank
Oh.
God. I was starting to worry for him. Dered was in an extremely dangerous position because he was circling the left side of Buria, exposing his open left torso the entire time. That was extremely dangerous, and that was so risky. Thank God he was able to capitalize.
Not to mention these mechs,
Very good.
you know, Buria was sitting on top of the hill. maybe Burya just reaches over even if he does shield properly and hits the side torso from across. That can happen
That
with.
was the perfect opportunity for Burya to get the game, and he wasn't able to get it away. He wasn't able to twist out of Dured's laser burn good enough. Dured was able to hold it right on target, just enough to be able to ensure that it killed Burya. But oh my god, that gave me a heart attack. As a light pilot, seeing Dured move to the left, exposing his left shoulder completely to Burya, very, very dangerous.
Yep. Both pilots keeping it close, as we expected. No pushovers in this division, that's for sure. Burya looked like he was losing those trades desperately, but as soon as he had that side torso open, he had a chance. He had a very good chance.
And Dured almost threw it. That was scary.
What?
But you know what? He still has a chance.
Did Burya
to
disconnect? Burya seems to have disconnected.
There's still a chance for Burya to win this back. It was still a very close match.
All right, so I wonder. I mean, given how they played the 1v1 map, where you can easily brawl up on your opponent, if they're both bringing Wolfhounds, I imagine it's going to be, trade around the center of this map. Maybe someone just tries to eat some time on the clock and stay at range, kind of like Juju did. But this map, I think, is going to be really interesting. Will they even keep the Wolfhounds, right?
I think that keeping the Wolfhound on Canyon is a mistake, but that is my own opinion.
Yes. I mean,
and it doesn't seem to be the favorite, because it looks like Burya is going Wolfhound.
It does.
Well, when it comes to a Wolfhound v Wolfhound matchup, there's really not much different here. Not much of a change in strategy.
Yeah, and I think they're just gonna opt to trade a bit at the start, see if they can get a few wins. Maybe someone gets desperate, starts to close. I'm gonna assume a plus means yes. So they're both actually readied up in game. So let's do this. I just wonder, would anyone dare bring a fire starter?
No.
No. Okay. Thanks for answering that.
Absolutely not. And
I should feel bad.
Yeah, you should probably just leave this channel right now.
I've just discredited all myself. I never claimed to be the light expert. That's why I have you here.
Well, you discredited yourself like 100 times. You discredited yourself for all 4 brackets with that observation.
I just wonder, do you try and bring a medium laser, like an Osiris, like what Juju did? We saw it worked.
Well, the thing is that the Osiris has better maneuverability than
that is true.
Firestarter. Its pitch and yaw is better. Its lasers are on better hard points. To be fair, Logan and I did experiment with the 8 medium laser Firestarter, and it was interesting, but it was just too hot in the end to be brought in any serious fashion.
So I actually like Burya's positioning better now. Dured just running straight up. Burya kind of going around the outside. He knows, 10-15 seconds. It doesn't really matter. He's going to try and get a good angle, but as I say that, he jumps down into the pit. And he's going to have to come up this cliff, basically, without having seen anything. And Dured's already on him. Dured gets a free shot into his back.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like Burya rushed himself unnaturally. You're losing the circle, but you have a full minute to recuperate. You have a full minute to plan. There was no need for you to just rush up like that, and Burya put himself in a very disadvantageous position. He could have taken the slant up to ease his ascent into the canyon area, to give him a little bit more elbow.
As we say that, though, Burya's got Dured open CT. I thought Dured was winning those trades at first. But Burya's overheating himself. He's got damage on his leg. He's got to be careful about that.
He's rolling the dice with the overheat, and I love it. I feel like it's the smarter play, because at this point the center torso's open and they're not going for it.
And one shot.
Oh my god, what a shot!
That's those medium pulses. Oh man, and did you see Dured?
Yes.
He was like a fraction of a burn from being dead himself.
Perfect demonstration of 2 pilots both focusing on their component at the same time. One burn just happens to be a little better
Yeah.
than the other, just that little extra.
And I really
Allows the Red to
think
win.
it was that first shot, the first free shot that the Red got when Burya was coming up that cliffside. Burya didn't see him. The Red got a free shot into his back CT, and that could have been enough. Like, you saw how little the Red was
I
out.
completely agree. I 100% agree. I think that what happened was that Burya just rushed into the fight too much. He had no need to. It was unnecessary, and he doomed himself.
Yeah, Burya didn't see him. He got a little anxious. He dove in, and I think he ultimately paid for it.
Exactly. And the match is over. Red 2-zip. And now we're going on to Cocky Criven, who thinks he's all that in a bag of chips because he only lost one match so far. And he'll be playing up against Slave Labor.
Man, this is going to be a pretty hype match. And even the match after this, whoever wins, RJF versus Eon or SA versus Eon. Oh my gosh.
I mean, Criven's been all over the place. He's more well-known. I mean, you know, you look way back, originally he was a Peef Smash disciple in DV8, served along a Duvo, which I would argue is probably the best light pilot this game has ever seen. Absolutely amazing pilot. He dominated lights wherever he went. Probably the only guy that could match him was T-Fun. Criven played with a Duvo. He learned from him. And then after that, Criven hops over to Lords, does very good things for him. Then he goes to help 228th. Then after that, he's kind of a mercenary for hire, helping Silken's failed abortion of a team in MRBC, led by also Mr. Petzold. And then after that, you have him moving to Smoke Adders to try and help improve their team. And Criven's light play is a big reason as to why Smoke Adders goes far. So he's definitely a tried and true contender. He's played with all sorts of top-level talent. He is a true thoroughbred in this series and probably one of the, if not the best light pilot in this tournament.
Yep. Can't count out Slave Labor, though, you know. He's playing RJF. They've got a rivalry with Eon for a reason. They're both top-tier teams. They practice against the best.
Online.
I'm sure he's not scared. He's back to the 5 medium pulse Wolfhound, opting for
And we're seeing
DPS.
against the
And
Piranhas.
Criven just, I'm a piranha. I'm a eat your legs.
It's time to
You
see
can't do
if the
nothing.
Piranha can truly do well against the Wolfhound, and my money is on the Piranha. I believe in the Piranha. I think it has inherent mech advantages over it, hitbox advantages, DPS advantages that the Wolfhound can't pick, and we're gonna see it. What do you see, Charles?
And he's already close to within a couple hundred meters. He's right up on him. But Slave Labor did get 2 good alphas off on Criven. And Criven's been pretty beat up. But the
But you know
question
what?
is,
Criven's playing this very well. This is exactly
Yes.
what I wanted to see from a Piranha player.
He's playing it perfectly.
Perfectly. Apart from that little gaff, he allowed himself to get in front. What he should have done is.
And he's just-
Doesn't even matter. He
Yeah.
got down in a couple of seconds. That was incredible.
Slave-
That's what I wanted to see.
oh my gosh, Slave Labor just, like, the Wolfhound doesn't have the agility to fend off that piranha. He just gets on your legs, and yeah, maybe you get a shot or 2, but it's not enough.
That is how you play the Piranha, and that is exactly why Criven's very braggadocious ass can say that he only lost one match, because he played the Piranha perfectly. You cannot allow the opponent... You cannot allow yourself to be in front of the opponent. You have to use a combination of the S, A, and D keys to stay behind the opponent when you're in that Piranha. You cannot let him face you, and that's exactly what Criven did. He had little to no face time against Slave Labor, and the face time that he did have was extremely minimal because he was still able to hug Slave Labor's legs.
Yep.
That is how you play the Piranha. That is why I believe the Piranha is superior. On to match 2, we're going to be able to see this shit go live.
And not only did he play it perfectly when he got there, he played it perfectly on the approach. You could tell he figured his opponent would go for that hill because his opponent's best option was to get that first scratch in before you can close. And even when he got past the ramp, Criven, he weaves in and out of those boxes so that the best Slave Labor can do is get off one burn, and it's not even a great burn because he's just twisting and juking so much.
Exactly.
It was perfect. I don't think we've seen a pilot work his mech better tonight. And we're going. Both players are back in here. Looks like they're both in the same mechs. Tonnages are the same.
They just want to go at it.
We're just going.
And I see Criven doing it this time. I see him lining up this match. I see this going 2-0, and I see Criven winning. I just do not see the advantages of the Wolfhound, despite what chat seems to think.
All right. Who has the radio tower spawn? I never remember which is which. The Piranha has radio tower spawn. I think that's already a huge advantage in Criven's favor.
Indeed.
That radio tower, I think, would be your best spot to set up with the Wolfhound if you want to try and get an initial shot in there. But who knows? Maybe he'll play it different. Maybe he'll play kind of like what Burya did, go around the side. We saw Juju. You can sit in that Delta 5 cliff. You can sit or is it Delta 5? It's Charlie 4 cliff, right on top of the edge. And if your opponent is stupid, which I don't think Criven will be, maybe you get a free burn.
The battle combine. What are you seeing?
Criven's getting hit. I mean, he's closed, but he took 2 free alphas down in that low ground. Granted, Criven, his build is definitely longer range than the other Piranha we saw. It was micro pulses, and now Slave Labor is down in the pit. I guess doing what you recommend, getting in the low ground to where the Piranha can't shoot down on you.
Nah, this isn't good. Criven's starting to run in straight lines. I really don't like his odds, but he's starting to close the gap, and he's starting to use his mobility.
Criven's beat up, but can he shake him?
No,
oh, that was big. That was a big burn. But his legs already open.
And now we're starting to do the wonderful...
And his legs are gone.
And it's over. There we go. 2-zip.
Those machine guns, man. Let me tell you. Those machine guns, they will just wreck you. Criven, both side torsos. I didn't like his approach that much. I guess maybe he didn't expect his opponent to be up there. But it just didn't matter. The DPS on those machine guns and the heat efficiency. Matt is saying, "Dear God, Saruman." Lol. But yeah, it's just that Piranha, man. The DPS is unreal. And when you don't have, a friend that can shoot its back and work with you to keep it off you, that makes it really tough. Yep, should be EU, I assume. Just double check with them. Bria says go, go, go. Slave Labor says let's end this. Let's end this. Let's do it.
Alright, let's go. Let's hope they just rush each other with high alpha mechs and kill themselves.
I mean,
they're shotgun Jenner when you need it.
It could be. They're 35-ton mechs. I somehow doubt it, though.
Yeah, they're not going to bring that. They want to win that 3rd and 4th place, since I believe prizes are still on the line.
There are still prizes on the line. There are prizes all the way up through 5th. But judging by their tonnages, I'm gonna guess. Yep, 6 medium pulse Wolfhound for Slave Labor. And oh, whoa! Are you seeing Burya's build?
Burya is bringing the Panther INR. Snubnose PPC. Oh man.
Oh man.
Special. What the hell?
Dude, I want to see this.
Oh my God. Burya gives no fucks.
This is a real MVP right here. Glad he wins something regardless. Alright, so Burya's got high ground.
I thought he was a madman, and Burya's bringing it to an actual match. You're a crazy man, Burya.
Slave Labor is closing, but Burya has lost line of sight on him.
High ground's not going to help him much, though, because that arm's low slung, so if he doesn't shoot properly, if he doesn't pay attention to jump jetting while shooting, it's just going to clip. And good move, I think.
Burya's yet to land a shot, unfortunately.
But are hard to land.
They definitely are. You want to feel like they're regular PPCs, and they're like, oh no, they're different velocity.
There we go, first hit.
Burya gets his first hit. He's spreading pretty well on this Panther. Only his arm is open.
Torsos. Now center.
Now center.
Well, the Panther is a deceptively tanky mech. I know that D5 considered using them quite a few times in an MRBC because they have a lot of armor, and so long as you can protect that arm, the rest of the mech is very twistable.
And
His
I'm not.
shoulders are a little extra defined, but that center torso is very hard to hit, and people focus the arm anyway.
Yeah, and I'm not sure who has the DPS advantage from a heat standpoint.
I would say the Wolfhound has the DPS, no question. Maybe from a heat standpoint, the Snubnose has the advantage, but in a straight-up brawl, the Snubnose is going to win out.
Slave Labor is starting to win these trades. CT's open on the Panther. Just took the arm there, so pretty good twisting on the Panther's end, but
Panther's center torso's open, but that
Yeah.
center torso isn't exactly easy to hit. I'm more worried about that arm. It's starting to get to orange armor.
Yeah, that is a good point. All the weapons are there, so he could easily disarm him if, you get a little too greedy shielding with it. Now they're just working the pillar.
Oh, great burn by Slave Labor.
It looks like Burya's just trying to hold him off at range as best he can, but
What a turn! Burya's trying his damnedest. He wants this win. I mean, his left side's orange, but his right side still got some armor in it, and
he
goes.
gets
Slave Labor
taken
landed
out.
the burn. Good stuff.
it was a valiant effort. I applaud the man for bringing a Panther. I can't say it was a moral victory. Yay, bet is close from Slave Labor. All those EU people. Gotta be getting tired. I know I'm tired, and it's only 6 p.m. here. What happens on a draw? Oh, I see some mutterings in the Discord chat. Krennic's asking in the heavy bracket, what do I do with a draw?
Oh my god, they have a draw? That sucks.
Because I don't know my game mode so great. But I think technically, if you don't fully run out the timer, it doesn't matter what the relative times are. But there may be rules we set up specifically for that. Who knows?
Override engaged.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. One Silk should answer.
Cough, cough. Alright, Slave Labor, the good old 6 MPO Wolfhound, Bria, 6 MPO Wolfhound. Okay, no more memes. No more memes.
No more memes.
Killing. Chat, we need a few Fs for that Panther.
You could have been the original Snowflake, man. Oh.
But, okay, Bria just taking the low ground, trying to close. He's got this low ground position that you like so much. And looks like they're both just going to be shooting CT. I think Slave Labor definitely winning these trades. Right side torso on Burya is getting pretty hurt.
Yep.
Burya deciding I am out. I am repositioning. I'm doing my best. I don't like where I'm
Although,
at.
To be fair, Slave Labor, even though Slave Labor is now starting to take the percentage war back, and Burya is the one who has a right torso that's orange, and
Burya lost he lost 2 of his med pulse. He's just down to 4.
I mean, it'll be more heat efficient.
I guess, yeah. But
There's that.
you see, yeah, he's still got a battle to come back from here. He's losing on the armor battle. His right torso is getting pretty hurt. CT.
The DPS just isn't coming out enough for Burya. Slave Labor's doing a great job putting pressure on with the lasers. Burya isn't abusing his cooldowns enough, and I think this is just attrition setting in. This has been a very long tournament. God knows what time it is right now in Russia, and right now it feels like Burya just wants it to be done, but not yet. He's like, I want to win this.
He's still got a chance. Red armor on the right torso of Slave Labor, dark orange at least. Burya's open now though, so this could end very quickly.
Burya's in a very dangerous spot, and Slave Labor intelligently making use of the high ground, so that way Burya's lasers eat dirt instead of eating his center torso, and a brilliant burn by Slave Labor, and Burya goes down.
I think it was just those first couple of trades that Slave Labor won pretty handily. Meant the game. Good games, pilots. A 2-0 decision. Don't love to see it, but if that's what it costs.
Let's lightning round this.
Kriven is in the mech lab. Let's send him an invite. The red is in the game. Got him an invite.
Now, this is a very interesting matchup because this is the matchup of that tournament so long ago, which I believe was the first MWA tournament, which, as I'll use as a reference, was when the same tournament Moderate Pudding actually got banned in, the infamous Moderate Pudding.
The
It's the
infamous.
tournament that Criven, wow, it's getting late. It's the tournament that Criven brought the Urban Mech to Dured's Small Pulse Laser Firestarter. So this is kind of a rematch. These two probably don't meet each other much, if at all. But once again, the very interesting point I want to hammer home is that it's one person bringing an unconventional build, and it's another person bringing a conventional build, and it's going to be interesting to see who wins out this time. There's a lot of people still thinking that the Piranha doesn't have a chance, and I will constantly respectfully disagree for the reasons I've stated. It's got superior DPS, its hitbox is low, and the Wolfhound has a hard time poking it, and overall it has extra speed and maneuverability on its side, which are all points that are in its favor when dealing with something like a Wolfhound, which isn't as maneuverable, doesn't have the same amount of pitch and yaw, and overall can struggle against it. But what do you think, Toaster? Do you agree with the consensus of our chat that the Wolfhound's going to come on top?
I think it's. I think the Piranha has an advantage, but I don't think it's as one-sided as, I don't know, it sounds like you're making it out to be. I think it's all up to whether can that Wolfhound pilot get that initial first burn or two to cripple the Piranha, and so that all he has to do is really just finish him off through CT. It's gonna be hard, and I do think the Piranha is favored, definitely. But and especially on these maps, some of these maps, it's really easy for the Piranha to close, and you know that you've been seeing the 6 MPL Wolfhounds, so they're even slower. There's even bigger speed gap between the two.
Definitely, and it's going to be an interesting paradigm between the two. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see the dynamic of how Criven plays. Now, a lot of people have been saying in the chat that Slave Labor lost because of his aim, but I would argue that Slave Labor was only in the game because of Criven's poor positioning. At the very beginning, he didn't move and allowed Slave Labor to get a good burn on him instead of coasting on the outside of the arena. Then at the end, he didn't properly use his maneuverability until the very end of the fight, and as a result wasn't able to stay behind the Wolfhound effectively. So while Slave Labor definitely did mess up on his own part, I do feel that Criven did more wrong than Slave Labor did. And obviously, aim's never going to be perfect. It's going to be something people work on all the time. But I still feel like that Criven has a very good chance in the Piranha.
Yeah, definitely. That run up where Criven was in the canyon, he had really nowhere to go except straight at him, or maybe you turn around, but you're not gonna do that. That was the big mistake, and I think that's why Slave Labor had a good shot.
Yep, I think that the Piranha expertly played, as we saw in the first map. It's just no contest. Maybe not no contest, but I feel that the Piranha still has a very inherent advantage that people are overlooking because they want to look at the Wolfhound, and on paper, the Wolfhound has everything, on PGI's paper at least, but they're just missing the minor details such as acceleration, deceleration, pitch, yaw, hitbox. And once again, these are two great pilots. We'll finally be able to settle this debate, because if in the situation Slave Labor did miss, I can almost guarantee that Dured will not.
Yes, I do think Dured, he's shown he's not going to miss his shot. He's going to land him exactly when he needs. Even if he just has a small opening, he's going to get that burn in. And he's going to play it smart. I think Dured, his patience is shown in all these matches. He's played well, he's traded well. His positioning, I think, has been almost flawless, maybe flawless. I'd have to go back and look. But there hasn't been any single thing that Dured has done that makes me think, oh wow, he really played that terribly bad.
Indeed. And
all
this
right.
is the final match of the light tournament. I believe we have more giveaways once this is over.
Yes, we do. But we're not going to do them all. We're going to do a few. We've got... I'm being told by Silken that we're supposed to keep doing assaults too.
What?
Alright, let's go.
Huh? Alright, well, starting match. Let's see who wins. Let's see if Chad is right. Let's see if the Wolfhound really can triumph over the tiny little underdog of the Piranha.
It's gonna be close. Guarantee that. Or maybe it won't. Can you kill the Piranha before he gets your legs open?
If anyone can do it, it's definitely the Red. He definitely has the accuracy to make that thing work.
Online. Sensors
What?
online.
What is this?
Online. All
Um.
systems nominal.
What is going on here? Oh no, they're moving. Wait, Criven's... What the...
I'm gonna guess Dured is asking for a mulligan.
Yes.
Because
the Red seems
this
to-
is not the right mech. No, he's not stuck. What are the rules? Is I think...
What?
Yeah, you see his mech now.
Okay. Can we mulligan this?
Alright, so. ER large Wolfhound. Not what I'd expect. Not what I'd ever hope to see in 1v1s.
Didn't you know that's the new meta. It's the long range light meta. It's about extra range, you know. It's how much range do you have? It's about spacing as much as you can. It's like
Yeah.
long distance fencing. Instead of stabbing people with your sword, you throw it at them.
I think your best bet is you hope they are laughing themselves to death.
It's kind of like, you know, Saving Private Ryan, that scene where the sergeant throws his gun at the guy?
Yep, yeah.
That's what that was, what Dured was trying to do. He was trying to throw the lasers at Kriv, and now I believe he's in the right build. Yes. All right,
Yes,
we're good.
we have the right mix. We're good to go.
Pulse lasers, Dured's running extra hot, so he's not going to have the same heat efficiency that Slave Labor did, but he's thinking he's not going to need it, and he may be right. If he can land those shots and crit that Piranha out quickly, we're going to see a very quick match.
This is the only Wolfhound build we've seen beat a Piranha, is this 6 medium pulse one. Just being able to get that huge 36-point punch, or relatively huge 36-point punch.
And right now, Dured doesn't seem to have had a good beat on Kriven.
Hey,
I don't think. Oh,
he
might
saw
have
him.
hit
He
down.
saw him. He knows where Kriven is. Kriven's not gonna have a super easy time closing, but he's still
there we go.
he's right there already. But see, Dured hitting those first shots. He's all.
Kriven doesn't look like
Kriven's
he's
already
in the
almost
spot
lost the
now.
side torso.
Yep, it
One
doesn't
shot.
seem like Kriven- Oh man, this isn't going good for Kriven. Oh no.
And now he's lost half his weapons. This is not going well.
Yep. Oh man. It's the old tournament over again. I mean, Kriven's not completely out of it yet. He's still trying to hug that Piranha. Dured's trying to space, and he's starting to miss his
He's
shots.
doing a good job of hugging him, but
Yep, but it's not,
Oh.
it's not working. Oh, nope.
oh, he shuts down.
Overheat.
He shuts down.
This could be the game changer.
Oh my gosh.
Enough damage.
He got so punished for that.
Oh, so close.
Oh man.
Oh my god. Wow, that is the consequence of bringing that 6 medium pulse laser build. That is what I'm talking about. That DPS advantage cannot be underestimated.
Yep. He's got the initial punch,
Holy hell, my heart's racing. That
but
was
you
crazy.
get heat capped that much faster. I mean, that's
Yeah.
and thinking back on it, that's why, you know, it looked like Dured was winning, but then he started not shooting and missing shots. He was
For a second, I
trying
thought
to be
Dured
real
won.
careful. I thought he
Yeah.
did too. And look at those damage scores. It's just
Yeah, it's happening in the armor meta. You know, like, it's fucking bullshit. It's annoying. But whatever. And now, second match.
second match.
Yep, second
Man.
match. Kriven 1-zip.
I think Dured needed that because it seems like the Piranha has a big advantage on the ups and downs of Canyon Network.
And you know what? I gotta give props to Duret. He would have definitely proved the Wolfhound a more superior mech if the Piranha if he was able to avoid overheating. But you've got to ask yourself, he was really doing his best to hit those shots. What could he have done better? I suppose he could have chain fired, but then after that, that's a lot of damage being washed over a mech that's very good at washing laser damage. You have to consider, like, sure, Duret could have chain fired. Sure, Duret could have managed his heat a little better, but that's the consequence of bringing that mech. Duret is betting that he can kill that Piranha before he reaches that critical heat threshold, and he just couldn't because the Piranha was so good at being able to roll that damage.
It's just so small.
And it's so small, and there's machine guns all over the place in the torsos. Like, you think you've got it when you don't. And it looks like they're ready. We're on to game 2. This is going to be exciting. Will this be
Let's
the
go.
game? Will Criven finally have his revenge over Duret for the last tournament? We've got to find out.
Criven still only lost 1 round. Is that correct?
He's only lost 1 round, so he has all the right in the world to brag.
He's got all the bragging rights right now, but...
I mean, but you know what? He can't
Duret.
be too cocky. He's got to keep his head on a swivel. If he mismaneuvers and he allows himself to be in front of Duret too much, then he will most definitely lose, since those 6 medium pulse lasers are going to hurt big time against such a small mech.
Duret did show us last round that, you know, those first couple burns aren't inconsequential. He can punish you if you play it poorly.
Online. Sensors.
It's Duret. He's one of the best shooters in this game, and it's just how it goes. If there's anyone that's going to punish you for that, it's going to be him. And once again, Criven bringing the tried and true Piranha, and Duret bringing the Wolfhound.
Dread just going straight up the channel. He's got no vision. This Piranha could be on top of him. Criven's already almost on top of Theta. Oh, but now, okay, Duret's made it up. He sees the Piranha.
Yep, this isn't... Yep, looks like Criven's just going for it. He's going to try and bolt in and Serpentine. This is exactly what he needed to do. Serpentine in. He's at 81%, but we could see a similar result.
Duret's got some good hits.
Yes, but Criven's already on top of him, and he's using his superior maneuverability.
And he's already legged.
It's over. If Duret wins this, it would be a miracle.
Oh, man.
There we
Those
go.
machine guns. Too strong. A heatless weapon that just has so much DPS.
There we go. I'm telling you, that superior maneuverability, the DPS, the hitboxes, like perhaps Duret missed some shots, but at the end of the day, Criven was able to close the gap and use the Wolfhound's lack of mobility against it. And Criven, you, my friend, are the MWA Light Champion. Congratulations.
GG's.
Well fought, Duret. Well fought to you as well. Both of you guys played your asses off. You've definitely solidified why you guys are some of the best light pilots in this game, and you guys are what makes this game so special. Good job. Hats off to both of you.
Wow. I'm very impressed. That Piranha, man. And you know, he's been min-maxing that build for 1v1s. He's dropping ammo. He's got only 3,600 rounds. I don't know about you, but I run like 7,000 almost in solo queue just to farm all those side torsos.
I would say that I could get away with 5,000, so it's not min-maxing too much. He might have skimped on some armor he didn't need in order to fit the extra lasers to provide the firepower, but overall, I think if I was running a Piranha, I would run a fairly similar build to that. It wasn't too crazy of a min-max, and in the end, it was just Criven playing the mech perfectly.